great woman in Pace Club right now. I so believe in her. Like, I just so believe in her. She's a great mom. She has a good family. She has a great relationship with her husband. And basically what had happened is all day yesterday we were talking about, your positioning. Like, what is your positioning inside your business? And your positioning is why people actually buy. And what happened was this woman gets up and she starts sharing how she did nothing in Pace Club all year long and how she's got a habit of doing this. Like, this is kind of her thing. She just doesn't show up for herself. And I said, honey, I've seen so many people do stuff like that. And I'm like, it doesn't mean anything about who you are. It just means that you've hit this same wall over and over and over again. And if you get obsessed, you're going to overcome this wall. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like the wall's not real in the first place, and you hit the wall, and then eventually you get mad enough, frustrated enough, or fall in love with yourself enough that you climb over the wall. And what this woman's doing right now is she gets up in front of the room yesterday and she's talking to me about her possible business and her positioning. And she says, every time I share this with somebody, they tell me how I'm going to crush it. I'm going to knock it out of the park. And she's like, so I know I'm onto something. Like, I know I'm onto something, but she's like, I just never get out of my own way to do it. And I said, there's nothing wrong with you. That's such a normal thing. I have clients that didn't get out of their own way for 2 years and then all of a sudden it works, right? So first of all, get with a coach that you love and a coach that you think will not sell out on you, and stick with that coach, and never go off on your own to figure it out. That's what scripture or the Bible talks about. The enemy talks about when a sheep breaks off from the pack. Not that the sheep won't get ahead, but they typically don't stay ahead, and they get eaten up by the wolf, right? And so you want to stay with your tribe, whatever tribe you're in right now, stay with your tribe. And so I'm like listening to her and I'm like, wow, she's really going to do it. Like, I can just tell she's really going to do it. And so I had no idea. I had no idea what was going through her head. But long story short, we came up with her positioning. It was really good. And her positioning has to do with the fact that she thinks that moms that cannot get away from their children, like a 6-week-old, a 6-month-old, a 2-year-old, and they don't go and have date night with their husband, or they don't spend time with their girlfriends. They have a really hard time with it. Like, they're just like, oh my God, I can't leave my baby. And they're in that conversation. I don't mean to be condescending at all. But she's like, that is the mother's, there's a breakdown here. Like, there's a serious breakdown. Like, the child doesn't have a breakdown because the mom's gone out on date night with the husband, right? The child does not have a breakdown if the mom goes and spends some time with their friends. And I'm a mom, and I'll tell you, it's really hard for me to leave my son. So I get it, right? Like, my 2-year-old is not with me here at the hotel when almost always he is, but I would be sabotaging my son right now because he needs to be in toddler school and he's potty training. And there's a consistency that happens in school that doesn't necessarily happen at home the same way, especially if he's in a hotel room with me at an event, right? And last week, I was gone for 2 days in Arizona when I was speaking at Infusionsoft. So back to back, I've kind of not been with my son for Infusionsoft for 2 days. Then I was with my son for a day. Then I went to Arizona to a charity LA to a charity event for a night. Ash and I spent the night together, just the two of us, which was really neat, in Los Angeles. And then we came back home. We spent Sunday with Zach. And then I came to the hotel for 3 days of Pace Club, right? And so I get this client of mine who stands up and she says, moms who can't take a break from their children, they're hiding behind their kids, Shanda. She's like, they're hiding behind their kids, and they have the problem. It's not the child, but they use the child as the reason to not step away. So anyway, long story short, I really heard her. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I really heard her. She's physically in incredible shape. She's absolutely beautiful. She has a great relationship with her husband. And she is a mom of multiple kids. And, you know, and she hasn't been able to execute on her business yet. And so when we get her positioning, she gets clarity, she gets excited. This Pace Club group, like all Pace Club groups, are really, really connected. And it's actually a group of people that I would actually hang out with. Like, there's many people in the room I would really hang out with. Like, I genuinely like them. And I can't wait to continue to study with some of them in Marketing Mastery, because some of them are new into Marketing Mastery. So I look at this woman last night. We have this beautiful dinner for Pace Club. And I looked at her and I said, did you join Pace Club? And she said, I was going to. She goes, I was going to. And I called my husband. Now remember, she has a great relationship with her husband. I called my husband and he said, and I told her I wasn't going to sign up. I told him I was not going to sign up for anything because of the fact that she hadn't executed. I get it. I totally get it. She's got a history of not executing. But how often do you brand yourself? How often do you brand yourself, or you put things off, right? You put things off to a later time and you miss opportunities. Like, let me say something. Like, I have a training, a leadership training. And there's a couple people I think should be in this leadership training. And Judith Rich is training the breakthrough of this leadership training. I don't know if she's training the next training or the next training this year or next year. And there's two people that I want in there because of Judith, but totally ghosting, not having a conversation with me, not having a conversation, not listening to all the other people who've gone through it, and they're waiting, right? They're waiting. It's like this woman. Yesterday they had an opportunity. I did something interesting in Pace Club where I gave a daily incentive where I would pay for a coach, a private coach, for them to talk to them twice a month to transition them for 9 months on my dollar to help them succeed in Marketing Mastery. And it's a ridiculous give. And she was going to do it. And her husband said, well, of course you're going to sign up. You're gullible. You sign up for everything. And even though I know he wasn't doing it to hurt her at all, it was like one of those moments you have with your spouse where you're kind of, it's not a big deal to you and you're giggling about it, but to your spouse, it just takes the wind out from under them. And so I saw her at the dinner last night, and I was sitting next to her, giving her a hug, and I was genuinely thinking, oh my God, like, I can't wait to help this woman do what she's going to do. She's really going to make an impact for so many moms that are ruining their relationships with their husband, that are holding their children back because they're giving them the wrong message about the fact that they have to be with them 24/7 because of their own stuff, not because of the baby stuff, but their own stuff, right? And they're creating this codependent relationship and not letting them grow, right? There's a power to them being away from you for a few hours. There's a power for them being away from you for the night. Like grandma and grandpa take care of them. You know what I mean? Like there's a power to that good, healthy separation, right? And so I got my arm around her and I'm thinking, like, she can't see what I'm thinking in my head, but I had this warm, fuzzy feeling of how many moms she was going to help. And I was so proud of her. And then she told me that. Well, my husband said I'm gullible and I just couldn't do it. And I'm like going, God, like, how often do we hold back because a friend of ours gave us some advice or seeded something in our head that had us hold back when we were good with our vision, we knew what we were going to do, and now that creepy little devil is inside our head that is taking apart all of our vision and our thoughts and causing us to hold back, and then we miss an opportunity that absolutely is going to move us forward and free up the pressure, make us feel more confident, make us feel more on purpose. At the end of the day, you're not taking any of this money with you. So it's not about just making money. Please don't make up things about your kids, your husband, and money. It's about how do you co-create with the problems in your life? How do you co-create with the fear in your life? And how do you develop a company or a life that really impacts millions and millions of people, if not billions. And I believe that we all have that capacity, but we're so damn serious about the next move. What if you would just not be so damn serious about the next move? Stop looking at everything as a hard moment that you got to push through to get to the next level, and start just releasing into your investments, your opportunity. Figure out the strategies with your children and your husbands and your friends. Figure out these things so that you can keep going and not holding back. So if you're resisting doing something right now, I invite you to explore figuring out how to do it. Just for the act of seeing what's on the other side of your controlling mind. And controlling looks like, I'm going to wait till it's a better time. What if you were to be smart enough that you could figure out how to make it happen now? That's a strategy. If you want to make millions and millions of dollars, and you don't want to kill yourself, and you want to run an incredible team that makes your life so much easier, then you have to be the type of person that navigates the problem that you're dealing with right now, that you've taken the pressure off the table so that it's the right time. Do you hear what I'm saying? Let me explain it another way. The pressure you're experiencing in your life right now is an opportunity for you to develop a thought process that has you grow millions and millions of dollars without it being more work. Without it being more work. Like, what if you stop pushing and you could walk through hard in a very different way? And you could actually do the intimate work, because intimacy, if you're busy, intimacy is your problem. What if you could just stop being busy and look at the intimacy and go, here's the problem right now, that I'm about to take the pressure off the table. I'm about to take the training off the table. I'm about to take the relationship off the table. I'm about to take that hard conversation off the table. And if I take it off the table, everything will be much more calm. Well, my friends, I'm telling you, that's not the game. Because here's the thing. What you really want in your life is for you to be self-actualized at a level that your pressure is removed because of the way you think, because of the way you navigate the chips around you, so that you can keep doing more, operating more, receiving more. The more you put out in output, now that doesn't mean just you, it means people that help you, but the more you are able to assemble yourself in a team to keep going, do more personal development, read more books, help more clients, make more money, have a better relationship, have an extraordinary relationship, get out and date even when you're growing a business and your child is sick, right? Like, if you can figure out how to take all those levels of pressure and gamify it. Like, if I was to tell you that you will experience, like, everything in your life will work out if you figure out how to walk through the pressure by not pushing, but navigating your mind, by not resisting or holding back, that you will never be happier and everything will work out. If I told you that, you might say right now, well, you can't promise me that, Shanda. You're right, I can't. But I promise you, you can handle it. And when you know that you can handle it, then you stop working so hard and you actually start accomplishing much more. And that's why I never slow down on my personal development. So I just wanted to give that to you this morning. God bless the woman who did not say yes, that I just know that we could have helped her. And I actually think she'll be back in the community. She'll be paying a higher price point in the community, and she won't have transitional coaches. But, you know, I wish I could just get through to people's mind that the pressure is not there by accident. And it's not even there for us to pull back and recalibrate. It's for us to look at what's all in our plate right now. And what are we being called to do right now, or being asked to do by multiple people? They're doorways. And if you can figure out how to trust and have faith to walk through those doorways, you will stop being the type of person that says things like, this is not the right time. And you will unleash a freedom. And Jesse Itzler does this really well. He'll unleash a freedom that allows you to have more fun and allows you to just really experience everything that life has to offer you. But the tricky thing that keeps people in the hustle of life and business is the fact that they don't believe me on that yet. And so they're going to control their situation, their life, the courses they take, all of that type of stuff. And they're not going to just let it go and see what happens. Like, just let go of that resistance and see what happens. But when they do, they're going to experience a very, very different life. The one that they've been chasing after, that they've been working so hard for and pushing for. That push starts to go away. All right, you guys. God bless. I hope that this was a good coffee with Shanda this morning. I'm going to go drink myself some High Burst so that I get my throat back and my moisture back inside me because I'm losing my voice again. So God bless. Have a great day. And please look at something you've been resisting and don't let this be a good coffee with Shanda that has you have an aha moment, because in 10 minutes from now, that aha moment will be gone. And this coffee with Shanda will be gone. So in the next 10 minutes, go make a decision, commit to whatever you need to commit to so that you say yes to the thing that you're resisting, and then strategically melt away the stress and figure out how to deal with the pressure in a way that works. Grow up. Life gets better.